Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Cigar Guitar podcast. Yes, here we are again. And today we are going to be discussing Mastodon and Lamb of God. And for you listeners, this one's on YouTube. I'm going to start putting these on YouTube as well, so you can see me and you can see my clothes. Hello. Yes, I am Cigar Guitar, as you know me from my shitty riff videos. Good to see you. Remember to subscribe. Yeah. Anyways, so, first off, let's discuss this fucking monstrous collab of a song by Lamb of God and Mastodon that just came out a couple days ago. The Floods of Triton. The cover is pure Mastodon, obviously. And I'm talking about the cover of the album, by the way. Pure Mastodon, and in my opinion, with like a little bit of log and the orange cityscape in the background, kind of. Although it's mostly just Mastodonish, which is fine. And this kind of coincides with how the song is, in my humble opinion. And, I mean, that's not a bad thing by any means, because the song to me feels very Mastodon heavy the whole way through. Like, I mean, obviously besides, like, Randy Blythe's classic vocals over the top. That was interesting to hear, by the way. Like, fucking Randy Blythe singing on Mastodon riffs. That was fucking sick. Loved it. And I mean, we got this right on the back of the Ashes of Leviathan tour. I hope if you're listening to this, I hope you went to it and I hope you enjoyed it. I went to it like 2 weeks ago now. Holy shit. The Lamb of God crowd was fucking nuts. Mastodon always sounds great. I was fucking glad I got to go. Really. And for those of you who don't know, maybe you don't even know about it, Lamb of God and Mastodon toured together. And Mastodon played Leviathan in its entirety. Lamb of God played Ashes of the Wake in its entirety. And I say I was fortunate to go because I have less than $70 after each paycheck. I'm sure you struggling Americans know that feeling. Anyways, and here's the scoop on my history of the two bands. We're going to start with Mastodon. So, I was first exposed to Mastodon, I want to say, when I was probably around 12 years old. Because whenever my brother would take me fishing, he'd always be playing the album Blood Mountain. I gotta be honest with you, as I mentioned in earlier episodes. In my childhood ignorance, I instantly hated every band that wasn't Metallica or Megadeth or all the other vanilla-type bands, you could say. So whenever he'd play Mastodon, I vividly remember saying, the drums are just stupid, endless fills. The guy singing, Brent Hines, sounds like Ozzy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I used to be one of those fucking guys. And then again, I was a kid, so leave me alone. But secretly, loved the riffs. Loved the vocals, too. And it just took me a couple years of growing up to admit to myself and to the people around me that, wow, I actually like other bands than Metallica. Who would have thought? And that's the funny part, because my brother even said, give it 3 years, and you'll like them. And, well, he was right. Yes, he was definitely right. Because he was right about Mastodon. He was right about Pig Destroyer. He was right about Skeleton Witch. He's right about How to Destroy Angels. Also, if you never heard those bands, go listen to them right now. And also, there were some other bands. I don't know. He's told me a million times. But as I grew to listen to them more and eventually seeing them live for my first time in 2018, when they toured with Primus, that was fucking awesome, by the way. Primus and Mastodon in the same show, that was fucking sick. I got to be on the front. I got the bar front row. It was fucking sick. And I realized how crazy it is to watch Mastodon play. I mean, like, not as in the crowd being wild or things like that, but more so like watching the guys play and each of them playing something different on their instrument and how it all just fucking melds together to make some of my favorite songs like Island, Capillarian Crest, and Sea Beast. Those are probably my favorite Mastodon songs. And it was really after that, it was really after my first Mastodon show that engraved their likeness and talent into the crypts of my brain. I think that Mastodon is really one of the most talented bands to ever exist. And I mean that when I say that, because just, I mean, listening to their albums, the studio albums, it's really even just like mind-blowing, the shit that they play. It's crazy, complex, and technical. Then when you see them live and they pull it off, it's crazy. Because back in the day when they used to play, I guess they were kind of shitty. But do you blame them? It's so hard to play that shit. Because, like, I like to try to learn their riffs when I'm practicing because it's super fucking hard. You know, and I hope to see new music from them for the many years to come. I really do. And basically, that is my experience with Mastodon. Listen to them a lot while fishing. So, like, especially the album The Hunter, too. That one really coincides with my fishing memories. I don't know. That's basically my Mastodon summary. And now for Lamb of God, formerly known as Burn the Priest, a band I never thought, especially when I was younger, who would rise to the top 5 of my favorite band list. So my history of them is similar to Mastodon, but different in its own right. So, growing up for me, the people around me who I learned my musical opinions from, all associated with Lamb of God and the same group of people who basically listened to fucking Five Finger Death Punch and Volbeat and that kind of stuff. By the way, I still have yet to find a song by either of those bands that I just mentioned that isn't complete steaming shit. You know what I mean? And there was a certain crowd of people that I know that loved Log that I didn't exactly vibe with. So if you catch what I'm saying, right off the bat, I had a ginormous bias towards Lamb of God. Especially because of my, if it's not Metallica, it's shit attitude. I am embarrassed about that, by the way. But anyways, so right off the bat, I had a bias. And whenever they came on or somebody played them, and it would make me go into the stupid mode of, turn that shit off, it's not even real music. It's just a guy screaming with repetitive guitars. And I held steadfast to those ideals for years and years, refusing to listen to them, robbing myself of the beast of Log. And I'd even have close friends shoving Log songs into my face, forcing me to listen to them while I was in their cars. But I would still sit there and die on that fucking hill of, oh, yeah, just the same trope of things that I used to say. But one day it would change. And my God, I'm thankful for that day. That day happened to be in August of 2018. At least I think that's when that show was. When they toured with Slayer, Testament, and Anthrax for Slayer's farewell tour. And to put this into perspective, Napalm Death was there too. That was fucking funny to watch them. Loved that. Especially that song. It's like 5 seconds long. It's literally just the guy screaming. It's incredible. But also, to put this in perspective, when me and my friends bought the merch before the show, I specifically made sure to buy the shirt that didn't have Lamb of God or Anthrax on it, because I wasn't going to be associated with those bands type attitude. And I remember even the 3-hour drive up to the concert, my friend was playing Lamb of God and trying to get me into them. And I just kept that ignorant bullshit that I've always done, like, oh, I'm going for Slayer. Blah, 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 you know? And now that I've formed my opinions and grown up, Slayer fucking sucks, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, obviously they're metal as fuck. The earlier albums are great, but they really just got boring. And the vocals are so fucking garbage. I'm sorry. That may be a hot take. I don't know. Anyways, long story short, we went to the concert and eventually Lamb of God came on. And let me fucking tell you, holy shit. I had never gotten my ass kicked in a pit so bad before this show. I was blown away by the energy that they packed and how the whole entire crowd, yes, I mean every single human in the crowd was in a mosh pit. You couldn't escape it. It was beautiful. Literally. So after that show, it's safe to say that my Lamb of God cherry was officially and finally fucking popped. Because it was. But there was one problem. I didn't know where to start. What the hell album do I start with? Who knows? So I asked my good buddy of music, a one Mr. Oren Mikhail Johnson. Oh, Jason, if you're listening to this, can't give you enough thanks, buddy. And I asked him because I knew he had a good metal repertoire, and he said he should definitely know some good log songs. And one night on the banks of the Green River in rural Utah, he introduced me to New American Gospel, Lamb of God's first album. And let me tell you, I was hooked fucking instantly. He played me the song Pariah off of it. Oh my God. It's just fucking brutal and so much energy. And it became my favorite Log album. Easy. And even today, after listening to the full catalog, it's still a tie between New American Gospel and As the Palaces Burn. And I'll tell you why kind of near the end. And that's basically all the information that's really important. I guess this is the end. I'm so smart. I guess that's basically all the information that's really important to gain an idea of what I mean. And if there's any, like, lesson you guys could gain from this video, is that always listen to different bands. Always listen to different shit. Listen to stuff you don't think you'd like. That is what I want you to gain from this episode, my fellow cigar guitarites. That's all I want you to do. You never know what could become of it. You might be finding your new favorite band. That's what I've done in the last 4 years of my life. I'm so glad I did. Because I hardly listen to the Metallica. Don't get me wrong. Metallica is probably fucking, I don't know, my favorite band ever. You know? I don't know. They hold a very deep chunk in my heart. But I don't listen to them that often anymore. They're not at the top of my list. You know? To be honest with you, I think the top of my list is, actually really at the top, factually, is 9 Inch Nails if I do my Spotify stats. Don't ask me why, it just is. But anyways, like I was saying. So, and here's the thing for Mastodon, just to cut back, actually. So, I love Mastodon, but I am not a genius or a fucking lore master on their albums. I don't know, I know most of the albums, but I don't know everything front to back. You know what I mean? But I think my favorite is Blood Mountain. I love Capillary and Crest. Love it. I don't know. I really don't know. Because, I love Sea Beast. Sea Beast is one of my favorites, too. I don't know. What I'm saying is, I don't sit there and listen to them all the time. I'll pop in some songs, I don't know. But what I was saying about the Lamb of God albums and why New American Gospel and As the Palace Has Burned is a tie for me. For me, I love the vocals on the first 2 albums. And no, I'm not being a hipster trying to be cool because, I'm not trying to do that. And what I mean when I say that is because I love fucking Randy's Inhale vocals, dude. Now, I'm not a vocalist, but I'm pretty sure it's what he's doing on the first 2 albums. Just fucking, I mean, it's funny, but it's brutal, and I love it. That is why I love the first 2 albums the most. And I know, New American Gospel, I think even the band members hate it because it sounds bad. And it does sound pretty bad, but, I think that adds to the charm. I love the fucking sound of the kick, the fucking drum kicks on that one. It just sounds like a thud. I love it. I don't know. I fucking love it. And Pariah, that song is just demonic. Black Label, demonic. You know what I mean? I don't know. I love that fucking album so much. And then As the Palace Has Burned, it keeps that same energy. And I don't know, just Vigil. I love Vigil on As the Palace Has Burned. I love the fucking very end. The Art of Ruin. Fuck. I don't know. And As the Palace Has Burned itself. So, I don't know. Love it. I'm an absolute fucking fan of them. I listen to them more than, I don't know, than a lot of bands. I find myself listening to Log very often. And also, before I fucking end this off, you gotta see Lamb of God live. You will thank yourself. Now, I wasn't there ever, but when I watch videos and all the live shows I've been to, just by watching a YouTube video of AC/DC in the 70s, I could feel the energy fucking however many years later. 50, whatever, 60 years later. 50 years, I don't know. And I can feel the energy with Bond. But I will tell you, the closest I've come to feeling that same energy is at a fucking Log concert, dude. Randy's jumping around. The riffs are fucking demonic. The drums, it all kicks your ass while your ass is already getting kicked in the pit. Main thing is, go to a Lamb of God show. Go to a Mastodon show. You'll be fucking blown away. It's that simple. Anyways, that's it. That's all I got for you. But as I said before to my listeners here, go follow on YouTube, Cigar Guitar. The channel's been up for a while. I used to post to it in the beginning of Cigar Guitar, but I stopped. Don't know why. Here we are. We're on it. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go watch it. You can see me talk instead of just playing shitty riffs like I usually do. Thanks for watching. I've been Cigar Guitar, and you have been you.